Your body is not merely a vessel, it is a 12-room mansion. In the previous videos, we established that within your skull and spine reside 12 cranial nerves, the gatekeepers. When these gates are functioning, the lights in your house are on. When they are neglected through poor diet, unchecked emotion, or undisciplined behavior, the rooms go dark. We are not talking about mysticism. We are talking about the biological and moral maintenance of the self. This is how we can keep the rooms of the mansion lit. Peter, repenting faith, the perceiver. We keep the lights on in this room by practicing single-mindedness, focusing on the underlying truth of a situation rather than the chaotic appearance. Meditation on the eternal rather than the temporal. We dim this room with cynicism and double-mindedness, allowing the physical eyes to dictate your reality. When you lose faith in the divine law, this gate dims, and the mind falls into survival mode of fear. Andrew, representing strength. You maintain this room with consistency in your spiritual and physical routine, walking the path even when you don't feel like it. Physical posture and spinal alignment, procrastination and flakiness, starting things and never finishing them. Abuse of the lower back through sedentary living or carrying heavy burdens of unnecessary worry. All these dim the light in this room. John, representing love. Keep this room lit with acts of selfless service and practicing. Magnetic harmony are refusing to let external chaos disturb your internal peace. The light in this room is killed by resentment and bitterness. Hatred is a literal toxin to the solar plexus. It demagnetizes your ability to draw good things to you, leaving your nervous system frayed and out of rhythm. James, son of Zebedee, represent wisdom. You maintain this room by trusting your gut, which is the enteric nervous system. Eating clean, living foods that allow the biological intuition to remain sharp. The room goes dark with over-rationalizing and ignoring your intuition. Also, internalizing lies, accepting false doctrines or gossip as truth. This causes spiritual indigestion. Philip represents power, the creator. This room is lit by truth-telling, using your words to bless, build, and command your cells to be healthy. Silence is often the best maintenance for this gate. You dim this room by gossip, lying, and idle chatter, cursing yourself or others. Every negative word is a misdirection of the flaming sword, wounding the mansion instead of protecting it. Bartholomew represents imagination, the architect. You maintain it with conscious visualization, spending time daily seeing your mansion as fully restored and healthy. It gets dim with worry and darkened fantasy. Worry is the misuse of imagination. It is praying for what you don't want. Pornography or violent media scars the blueprint Bartholomew is trying to build. Thomas represents understanding, the logician. You keep this room lit with study and questioning, seeking the reason behind the ritual, applying spiritual laws to everyday problems to see if they work. The room gets dark with intellectual pride or blind dogma, refusing to learn new truths or becoming puffed up with knowledge without applying it. This turns the light bulb into a blindfold. Matthew represents the will, the executor. You maintain this room with self-discipline, making a decision and sticking to it, mastering the base self through the higher will. It is dimmed by indecision and tyranny, either being will-less by letting others decide for you or using your will to dominate and hurt others. This topples the crown. James, son of Alphaeus, represents order. He is the organizer. You maintain this room through cleanliness and order in your physical environment, organizing your time and your diet into a holy sequence. Chaos and clutter kills the light in this room. A messy house or a messy schedule reflects a betrayed Alphaeus. When the mana energy is disorganized, it rots instead of nourishing. Simon the Canaanite represents zeal, the engine. It is lit by passion for the truth, keeping the fire of motivation lit through purposeful work and inspiration. It is killed by fanaticism or burnout, forcing things through raw ego rather than divine zeal. Conversely, lukewarmness, having no passion for life, extinguishes the flame in the medulla. Thaddeus represents elimination. This is the purifier. We maintain it through forgiveness and detachment, letting go of past hurts. Regular fasting and physical detoxification. It is killed by hoarding and holding grudges. refusing to let go of old versions of yourself. This creates constipation in both the bowels and the spirit, poisoning the mansion. Judas represents the Life Conservator, the guardian. This room is lit through sexual conservation, recognizing that the seed is the oil for the lamps in the upper room, channeling that energy upward into creativity and prayer. It is killed by lust and dissipation. This is the ultimate betrayal. When Judas is abused, the sacred oil, which is also known as the Christos, is cast away for a moment of physical pleasure. This leaves the entire mansion dark, as there is no fuel left for the other 11 gates. How do we fuel this mansion? If you treat your body like a rubbish bin, your house will be a dungeon. The rule of 3. 1. Minimize sugar and avoid alcohol and pork. Sugar creates rapid spikes and crashes in the nervous system. Alcohol and pork cause acidity, and acidity corrodes the 12 nerves and destroys the oil. 2. Consistency of conduct. If you are chaotic in your mind, you will be chaotic in your nerves. 3. Physical exercise. The nerves require movement to circulate the oil of the system. We speak of figures like Isaiah Shembe, or those who walked the path before us, not to worship them, but to recognize the price they paid for their clarity. They mastered their mansion. They didn't let the rooms fall into decay. It is your turn. Your nerves are your wires. Your character is the current. Your diet is the fuel. Do not let your mansion go dark. It is time to step into your house and take responsibility for every single room. This is not the end. It is the beginning of your restoration. You now have the map. You know where the gates are. But once the gates are open and the rooms are lit, what is the purpose of the temple? In our next journey, we move from the structure to the substance. We will begin the Sacred Oil series. We will decode the mystery of the oil that Isaiah Shembe alluded to so profoundly in the Sabbath prayer, the holy ointment that preserves the body and awakens the soul. We will learn how the science of your being produces the very essence required to meet the divine. If you are ready to stop being a passenger in your own mansion and start acting as the architect, the work starts today. It is time to audit your habits. It is time to guard your gates. Join the community of those who are waking up to the science of being. You can support us now by scanning the QR code on your screen, or by clicking the PayPal link located in our bio and video description. Every contribution helps ensure the sacrifice of the pioneers was not in vain. Take control of your mansion. See you on the inside. Please like, share, and subscribe to ensure this wisdom reaches those who need it most.